Well, today, the men now behind bars after escaping police earlier this week appeared in court for the first time. 7 investigators obtained court records calling them homicide suspects after alleged crimes following their escape. ISP stopped short of calling them suspects, but says they are still investigating the homicides. Let's get right over to Abby Davis. And Abby, the men face numerous charges.
Yeah, the men and also a woman. We learned more about her possible involvement today, so let's break it down. Here are their charges. Skylar Mead and Nicholas Umfenauer are currently being held on $2 million bonds. Tanya Huber, who police say helped the men, is being held on a $500,000 bond. Here's what led up to this point. Around 9:30 Tuesday night, the Idaho Department of Correction transported maximum security prisoner Skylar Mead to St. Alphonsus in Boise. He received medical treatment after hurting himself. Wednesday, around 2 a.m., IDOC officers prepared to take Mead back to prison. That's when police say a suspect, later identified as Nicholas Umfenauer, shot 2 IDOC officers in the ambulance bay. Boise police responded to the shooting, with 1 BPD officer shooting someone who appeared to be armed, later identified as an IDOC officer. Police say Umfenauer and Mead got away in a stolen Honda Civic before BPD got there.
Suspect is going to be an IDOC prisoner, white male adult, shirtless, Skylar Mead. Brake had a driver who was the shooter.
The hospital went into lockdown while police looked for the suspects. Several hours later, around 9:45 a.m., Idaho State Police issued the first blue alert, notifying the public and asking people to keep an eye out. In a news conference at 1 p.m., police announced they were actively searching for the pair.
They are dangerous, they are armed, and they have shown a propensity for violence.
Meantime, detectives say the men drove to northern Idaho, where they met James Monty on Wednesday, who was walking his dogs near Julietta. Detectives say the men didn't know Monty, but stole his van and took Monty and his dogs with them. They later found Monty's body and the hospital getaway car in a remote area near Leland. Later that day, law enforcement investigated the death of 72-year-old Gerald Don Henderson at his home in a remote area outside Orofino. Officials say they found Monty's dogs, unharmed, and Mead's shackles at the house. Detectives think Henderson knew the suspects. They believe Mead and Umfenauer then drove through Montana before coming to Twin Falls. 7 investigators obtained an affidavit showing around 1:30 Thursday afternoon, an FBI agent was doing surveillance at a woman named Tanya Huber's home, as well as another location in Filer. A Twin Falls police officer states in the document the 2 homicide suspects and Monty's stolen Chrysler were in that area. The FBI agent says he saw one of the suspects leave in that car. The agent was behind a Chevy pickup, and as he tried to pass it to chase the suspect, he saw Mead in the passenger seat of the pickup ducking down. When the agent turned his focus to the truck and started chasing it, he says the driver, later identified as Huber, sped off toward Twin Falls. A point detailed in Friday's arraignment.
She was driving 100 miles an hour through neighborhoods in Twin Falls in an attempt to further the escape of these 2 men who were wanted on violent felony charges.
The affidavit states the Twin Falls officer used a pit maneuver to stop the car, and the FBI agent pinned it, bringing it to a stop in a Walgreens parking lot. There, officers arrested Huber and Mead around 2 p.m. Thursday. Officers say they found 3 fentanyl pills. ISP says Umfenauer tried to get away, but officers chased him and arrested him. Boise Police, Idaho State Police, and IDOC announced the arrests at 2:45 in a news conference. In court Friday, the judge said Mead and Umfenauer will be brought to Ada County to be arraigned at a later date. Huber will be back in court April 15th. It's unclear how she knows the men, but Mead and Umfenauer knew each other from prison. IDOC says they're members of the white supremacist prison gang Aryan Knights. We have more information about the gang on our website, ktvb.com.
It sure does. This information just keeps coming out, so check our website for updates there. Thank you, Abby, for that timeline.